Are you making a profit? What are your best-selling items? Which ones actually cost you more than you make by selling them? I'm Mattia from Zebra BI, and you're going to be able to answer all of these questions after I show you how to build a revenue, cost, and gross profit tracker in Excel. You can build it with me or just download the completed template from the description below. We're going to start here on the left with our data. First of all, we have our groups of products here, from audio, baby care, computers, hair care, mobile, and so forth. For our KPIs, we're going to be looking at three: our revenues, our cost, and our gross profit. And of course, our revenues minus our cost are gross profit. And then we have our months, so we can track it by months, and our actual and our plan to see where we're actually spending or making less than we planned. To start, we're gonna position ourselves inside of the table and insert a pivot table. We are going to insert it here in our existing worksheet, and we are going to put it somewhere here in our U column. We're going to say OK, and I have to move a little bit to the right so you guys can see it better. And we're going to build this first pivot table like this. We are going to put our products here under rows. Then we're going to take our KPIs and we're going to add them to columns, just like this. After we've done this, we're going to also add our actuals and our plan. And we want the pivot table to summarize our values of actuals and plans. And with this, we're going to get summarized values for, let's say, all of our different products. So for our audio products, for our baby care products, and so on. Now that we've done with this, we can close the pivot table fields list, move a little bit to the left, position ourselves into the pivot table, and visualize the data. To do this, we're going to go to Home and Add-ins, and we are going to insert a Zebra BI table. Tables are really great for showing data like this that is structured and shows different types of categories and how they interact with each other. We'll change the position of our revenues, costs, and gross profit here in the pivot table, and you'll see that the changes are reflected on the chart as well. To make it a little bit better, what we can do is we can change the showing of actuals into numbers. And it does this, you can see, the same way for all three of our categories. Then, for our relative variances, we can actually just simply hide the columns, hide from all groups, just like this. And now we can focus more on what's actually going on between each one of our categories. You can see that we have a total sum here as well. To take this away, we can simply go to our pivot table right here, and then to pivot table design. Here, under grand totals, simply choose off for rows and columns. There we go. Now we can see our revenues, our costs, and our gross profit. And with this, we can have a pretty good indication of what's going on. We can also sort our data, so let's do it now. We can sort them like this. Sort them by descending, which will show us how much we are actually making in gross profit versus what we have planned. And now we can see that we're actually making the most profit out of our baby care. But something isn't right. If we look, we are actually making less revenue than we planned. However, we can see that we're also keeping the costs a lot lower. So this is not the best representation. What we need to do, we need to go under cost and invert our variances, just like that. And now it makes more sense. So we have been making less revenue. However, we've been keeping the costs a lot lower than they were planned. Now, to make a little bit more adjustments, we can also go in here and add our grand total. This way, we're going to know exactly how much the total of all of our products is, and we can actually see that sadly we are below planned. And mostly to blame are our mobile and wearables. We can see that costs for our mobile skyrocketed. However, we're even not being able to sell as much as we want. We have to change this. Alright, now let's do some more analysis. Let's see how we're doing over time. Again, let's position ourselves inside of the table, go to insert and insert another pivot table. We're going to again insert it in the existing sheet underneath the one that we created before. I'll move to the right again so you guys can see a bit better. And now we are going to create the new one by using our months in our rows, using our KPIs in our columns again, and for values we're going to use our actuals and our plan again. This way we're going to be able to track our revenues, gross profit, and costs and how they change over time. There's one more thing that we have to do that we did before. Go into design and simply take off the grand totals from rows and columns, just like that. Now it's time to visualize. Position ourselves here so we can see our canvas. Position into the pivot table that we want to visualize. Go to Home, Add-ins, and insert the Zebra BI chart. We can see it was that easy. Just position the charts where we have the place for them, right, on our canvas like this, maybe a little bit lower. And now we can see that our revenues, costs, and gross profit have been perfectly visualized. You can see that all of them are scaled as well. So we can see that our revenues are the highest and our costs are the lowest. Another thing we can do is break the axis to get a feeling of our variances a little bit better. So because our revenues are so high and the differences here monthly are so small, some of these can be hard to see. With just a click, we can break the axis and get a better understanding of the trends that's going on. We have to do one more thing though. Right click on the costs and invert them so we can see the way that we're supposed to see costs. If they're lower, they have to be green, right? Now that we have this, we can see that something's been going on in our Q3 and we're going to have to look into this. Another great thing about this template is that you can simply change it to your own data very easily. First, let's delete the data that we already have here, like this, and then just simply paste in data that is formatted the same as it was before. After that, what we have to do is go under data, refresh all to refresh the pivot tables, and you can see that now we have our data changed with different values and different insights, so it can be ready for you when you need it. So if now you're ready to implement this for yourself, you can download the template below. Thank you for your attention, and we're happy that Zebra BI can bring more value to your business.